Okay. Right. Well, afternoon, everyone. And focus today is something a little bit different. So, as many of you know anyway, we've had tremendous results and success with our own website and its performance and its ability to generate leads over the last, goodness, 6, 7, 8 years. So, Bryn and I and the team have been talking about how we can bring some of that knowledge and expertise to this business community. And when we touted that idea for a few people, there seemed to be a lot of demand for that kind of help. So I'm really pleased we can help you a little bit more with that this afternoon. I'm going to introduce Bryn. Bryn is our COO, Chief Operating Officer. So he's in charge of all things operational in our business, but actually for the last 8, 9 years, he's been head of marketing. So Bryn is fairly and squarely responsible for the performance of our site and also the expertise that he brings to all this. It's certainly not me. So that's why Bryn is leading this today. And Bryn is the goal today is to share a whole lot of information, content, strategies, help for you to improve website performance and in particular on-site conversion on your website. So Bryn is going to share a lot of that today and explain how we can help you further with these kind of issues for those of you who want help. So Bryn, I'm going to hand straight over to the expert, and thank you for your help and time. I know you put a lot of prep into this, so over to you, Bryn. Thanks very much.
Awesome, thank you, Parag. Okay then, let me share my screen. And can you all see this? There we go. Okay, so welcome. This is website conversion rate, the low-hanging fruit. So the basic idea that I'm going to be talking about today is this thing of, can you make small tweaks to your website, which might result in measurable increases in the conversion rate on your website. So let me illustrate that for you first with an example to show you what I mean. So this is the New York Times electronic edition website here. On the left-hand side, you've got the control version of the website. And on the right-hand side, there has been one tweak made to this website. So my first question for you guys is, can you guess what the change in conversion rate is on this second version of this web page here? And I'll point out the changes for you in a second. But type in the chat box, please, your guesses on whether you think this was an increase or decrease in conversion rate. And let me see if I can point out. Whoops.
Did you get it any bigger, Bryn? Is that you get this?
I'm afraid I probably can't. I can
as big as it'll go. Okay.
Just about read out for you. On this one, we've got these three buttons: buy now, learn more, free sample. Then on this version, there's one button here that says confirm my subscription, and it's got this box around it. So we've got increase, 100%, 200%, 150, 75, all saying increases. You're right, it's not a trick question. So here's the correct answer. That was 64% more conversion on this second version here. So 1 second, let me just get these up. Yeah, so let me just give you a second to let that sink in then. So there's one very small difference made on that website and 64% more revenue on this website. So that's maybe an hour's work for the developer to add this to the website. And I would guess the New York Times made millions of pounds of revenue as a result there. So I can't think of anything else in business where you can do so little work and have such a massive financial impact. So that's the idea, this kind of website conversion stuff. I think it's kind of like magic. So some of this might sound a bit unbelievable. So just quickly, why should you trust me? Parag gave me a bit of an introduction there. I'll just skim through this really quickly. So I've worked with Parag now for, I think it's over a decade. I handle all the marketing side of the business. I'm now the COO. I looked at our AdWords profile earlier, and we have shown adverts 5 million times to people online selling business coaching. So our online campaigns are the most successful of any business coach in the country. Did feedback there? Yeah, in the country, and basically this is 6 figures of revenue from online marketing on autopilot. It works brilliantly, and I was kind of obsessed with this for several years, with all this conversion rate stuff, landing page stuff. I made 30 different versions of our landing page to test. Before that, I was head of copywriting at a venture-backed internet startup called Huddlebuy, they're now called Perkbox. We had all these famous investors and all this PR attention. The business concept was, it was a daily deal site for entrepreneurs. So like Groupon, but for business owners. And so we would get the deals in the morning, and it was my job to write the copy, the words that would sell that deal to the people on the website, and I think hundreds of thousands of emails we would send out as well. And so that was a huge success. I ended up hiring and training 3 more copywriters, making a kind of copywriting department within that business before Parag tempted me away to come and work for him instead. And so that was just this amazing education in how do you sell things online using words. So that's what I'm bringing to this. Here is the agenda. This will be a fun, interactive learning experience starring your websites. So I asked you guys to send in your website if you wanted to be part of this workshop, this presentation. So what I will do is I will teach you these concepts, and then after each one, we'll look at some of your websites and try and apply that to your website together. So I'm sure we'll get through number 1 and 2 here, sign up forms and calls to action, maybe headlines and Q&A. We'll see how we go for time. Does that sound good? Yeah? Okay, so sign up forms. So what I mean by a sign up form is the thing at the bottom of your conversion funnel, right? So this can be your inquiry form, your checkout page, your shopping cart page. It's the last thing they fill in before they convert from an online lead to a real life lead. And so if you think about your website and all the different journeys that your website visitors could go through, so they might go to your homepage, your case studies page, your about us page, they might go off and have lunch and then come back. Everybody who converts will all end up in this on your sign up form at the end. That's where all these paths should be leading. And I see this all the time. People put loads of effort into their about us page, but they put no effort into the sign up form. It's almost like a second thought. It should be a huge thing. So I will teach you 3 things which you can do for your sign up forms, which could massively increase their conversion rate. So here's the first thing. Clearly explain the value of completing the form. So this sounds obvious, but I'm speaking from experience here. And one of the old versions of our website, we used to have, all this brilliant stuff about how great Parag is and all the things we can do. And then we had a contact us page, which was type in your name, email, message, send. And I can tell you that didn't work at all. So now, several iterations down the road, this is what we have instead. So the same form on the side here where they type in their details to get in touch, but I've got all this stuff on the side here, which is giving you reasons to fill in that form, right? So a free 45-minute coaching session, risk-free, no commitment, what happens on that call. You generate ideas, clarify your goals, have that discussion about whether a coach is what you need. I am trying my best to get people excited about filling in that form. I'm trying to generate emotions, right? Because I'm asking them to do some work to fill it in. I need to make it clear to them, what do they get? Why would they bother doing that? Number two, remove all unnecessary distractions around your sign-up form. So you're at the bottom of your conversion funnel, and you're 1 inch away from the conversion. The last thing you want is for your website visitors to get distracted at the last minute and to go back up that funnel, to go and do something else. You want them to pull the trigger, go for it. So here is an example. This is the Amazon website. You can see how kind of busy this website is, right? All the things you can do on here. You can sign up for Amazon Prime. You can share it on social media. You can look at Black Friday deals. A very busy kind of experience. But what happens when you get to the form at the end, to the shopping cart? Look at the difference in these in how these pages look. All the clutter is gone, right? All this white space down the bottom. The menu has disappeared. I don't know if you noticed this, but if you're on the shopping cart on Amazon, you try and click on the link at the top, these are all disabled, right? So they've actively tried to design this page so it's hard to go back from it. And this is Amazon. They've spent millions of pounds optimizing it to make it look this way, because this is what works. Okay, and then the final thing, and then we'll look at your websites. The other thing that could happen at the last minute, when you're like this 1 inch away from the conversion, apart from being distracted, your website visitors could get some kind of last minute anxiety or worry or objection. So if you're allowed to put anything on around the sign up form, things that might reduce those last minute anxieties. So think of the Apple website. So it sells the iPhone, for instance. You have all this amazing imagery and reasons why it's amazing. It's so thin and so fast, and the camera's the best camera in the world, all this kind of stuff. But then you get to the point where you're ready to buy it, right? You're on this page. You're seriously considering spending this stupid amount of money on a phone. Look how all the messaging has all changed now. It's not about how great the iPhone is. What the guys at Apple have done is they've sat down, you should do this as well, and they've thought, what are the last minute things, the anxieties, the worries that might scupper this sale, that might stop you pulling the trigger, right? It's too expensive, financing available. I'm worried about COVID. I don't want lots of deliveries now. Okay, well, fast, free, contactless delivery. I'm not sure whether I'll like it. What if it's not as good as I think? Free and easy returns. Chat with an iPhone specialist. You can pick it up now if you can't wait 7 days for it to be delivered. What's in the box? Loads of stuff here about what are these anxieties at the end that might put you off. It's almost like the website is like your salesperson that's disarming these objections for you. So my point is, I don't want you to copy these websites the way they're designed. I want you to understand the principles here. So clearly explain the value of completing the form, remove all unnecessary distractions, and reduce last minute anxiety. So let's try that with some of your websites. So this website here is Mindful Chance. This is Nima's website. I really love this one. It was hard to find things to critique on this, to be honest. So it's a mindfulness journal for children, I think. Amazing idea. So I want you just to have a quick look at the bottom of this page, if it will load. Yeah, here we go. So this is the sign up form for her newsletter here. So type in the box, again, the chat box for me. What do we think we could do? Small things that could potentially increase the conversion rate on this part of the website easily. And I'll remind you the points we did there were clearly explaining the value of completing the form, removing all unnecessary distractions and reducing last-minute anxiety. Phil Dobson says, explain the content and the benefits of the newsletter. Very good. Anybody else got anything? Testimonials, perhaps that's to reduce last-minute anxiety, perhaps? Yes. What is the value of the letter? Tina says. Yeah, perfect. That's it. That is exactly what I had for this. So why would I want to fill this in and sign up for your newsletter? I mean, there's a monkey pointing at it. That's something. But I think there should be some kind of headline or some kind of wording above this form here. You know, sign up for free weekly mindfulness games to play with your child, something like that. You know, I think sign up for the newsletter, that's a bit stale, everybody says that. Think of something that would be of real value that people would get if they filled this in and signed up. Let's move on to another one. This is Sagal. So this is Chris Loeb's website. Getting a bit of a cheer there from Parag. So he makes this beautiful, or sources this beautiful office furniture. So you go to this website, you see all this amazing furniture, you decide that you want to get in contact. This is the contact page with the form in it at the bottom of the conversion funnel. So you've got a map here, it says contact. What is your vision? Tell us your ideas. We'll have a discussion. Let's have a discussion. Then there's a link here that goes back to the About Us page. Then you've got a picture of Chris and Natalie. You've got their tagline. You've got the address. Then at the bottom of the page here, you've got the sign up form. So suggestions in the chat box, please. What could we do to increase the conversion rate on this page? I think there's a few things we could suggest here, definitely. Just give you a second to type in your answers. Remove the link back to the About Us page, Sebastian says. Yes, brilliant. Remove read more, brilliant, yes. Yeah, so Chris, you don't need most of the clutter on this page, right? You don't need to say contact up here. You don't need a link back to the About Us page. I don't think you need your picture here, really. You don't need your tagline. Do you want to see what it would look like if it was tidied up a bit without so many distractions on there? How about something like this instead? So you just have the address underneath the map here. You might want to rewrite this here so you really sell the value of completing that form. And then exactly like Tina says here, bring the form up. So I don't want to have to scroll down the page to get to this form. You know, these are distractions. This needs to be one clear thing. I click on the Contact Us page, tell me why to fill in the form, make it easy for me to fill in the form. Okay, let's get back to this then. So the next section, section 2, calls to action. So this maybe, I don't know if you're familiar, this might be more of a marketing term. So a call to action is basically when you are calling your customer to take an action. So on a website, this is usually a button where you tell them to do something. Here's the first one, which is almost embarrassingly kind of obvious. So calls to action, you should use them on your website, if possible, on every page, I think. You should be thinking about your website as a kind of funnel or a sort of machine that is designed to lead people to the conversion. So you need to put those links to the conversion, these calls to action across your website, wherever it makes sense. You know, I don't want to scroll down to the bottom of your website and then just be hanging there, like, where do I go next? You know, you need to guide me down the funnel to the next step. The next one, this one is super simple. So the text on your buttons, on your call to actions, they should not say submit or send. They should tell you the value of clicking that button, right? So never submit or send things like download reports, book a coaching session, view the class schedule. You get that kind of thing. And then finally, number 3, you should have one primary call to action on each page and maybe some secondary call to actions. So what I mean by that is you have your schedule a consultation. That's your primary call to action. That should be big, obvious. The color should stand out from everything else on the page. And then maybe you have your secondary call to actions, your learn more, your delivery options, your download case study. But they should be less visible. You should have a very obvious default step on each page, one primary call to action. You rarely ever want equally weighted options, right? You need to have a default that people should go for. So with the New York Times example at the start, I think the problem with this is you have these 3 equally weighted options here that you could pick from. The customer, the website visitor, they see that and they've got to stop and think, well, which one do I pick? I don't know. And then they may well just get frustrated and leave. In this version, there's one clear primary call to action. Okay, so let's try this one on your website. The next one we've got here is the London Kitchen Company. This is Sebastian's website. So really beautiful website. All these wonderful pictures of, he does like high-end kitchen installations for rich people. And so you can click on these and let's see what happens. I don't know if these are the names of the kitchens or I guess the location, aren't they? I feel like the Zoom connection might be slowing down my internet perhaps. So you click on this and you can see this kitchen, some more pictures, then the bottom of the page. Okay. They've got things like kitchen details, so you can learn about taps if you wanted. I guess this is Sebastian showing off his knowledge, all the things he knows about kitchens. So taps are a central focus of the kitchen. A good tap is a pleasure to use. And then you've got things about different types of taps, and then follow us on Instagram at the bottom. You can read more about these, I think. Or this, no, this takes you back, I think, looks like, to one of these kitchen designs. So maybe you can't read more, actually. Yeah, so type your suggestions in the box. What do we think for this one? And we might be looking for calls to action here. So are they used in every place they could be? Perhaps, is there a primary call to action that's clearly separated from the secondary calls to action? We have got some things on the top of the page here, actually. There we go, Amos, you've got it. Add a button at the bottom of the page. There was a book a consultation button, but hard to find, says Siri. Okay, good. Yeah, this is what I would say as well. I'd say the top 10% of this website looks great. There's lots of clear calls to action here. He actually does the sign up form really well on this. You can book a session and explains why you would want to book one of these. I think after that point, the rest of the website here down there's really no calls to action at all. I can imagine somebody on this website clicking around the different pages, they scroll down, they never really see the stuff at the top of the page. So I think at the bottom of almost every page, there should be tell them what to do next, a call to action. You know, you learning about taps, well, you know, book a consultation with me and I'll tell you about them more. You always tell them what to do next. Okay, let's look at the next one. This is series website. So this is a architecture practice. So lovely, very visual website here. You can learn about the different projects, the people in the team. There's a thing about the practice, news, services. You know what I'm going to say about this probably. Type in your answers if you like. Are we seeing calls to action here? There is one hidden at the bottom of the page, right down here. It's a contact us form with a send button text there. So yeah, for this one, it's the same kind of thing. Tell people what to do next, right? The services page, this is one where you'd think there would be, you know, get in touch, let's start a conversation, let's schedule a meeting. There's not any of that even here. I'd like to see a link up here in the menu, talk to us maybe, or book a consultation. I'd like to see one underneath here, here, here. So many places you could add calls to action there. Okay, let's go back to this. And next we're going to do headlines. Just check the timing. Yeah, let's go for this. So we started earlier at the end. We started with the bottom of the conversion funnel with the contact form. Now let's start at the very start. So the headline is the first thing that you see when you land on the website. So this, you either grab their attention in the first 5 seconds of being on the website with the headline and they read the rest, or they don't. You get the headline right. This is one, again, that can have a big impact on your conversion rate. So the stuff on the forms, I think, was fairly easy. You know, it's just fix this, fix that. Writing a good headline can be a lot of work. I could easily have done an hour just on headlines here. So I think my thing that I'm going to offer you that I think will be most valuable is my 1-sentence formula for an effective website headline. And I think for 70% of our clients, this would probably be better than what they have now on their website. So here we go. So your headline should immediately capture your ideal customer's attention by focusing on one thing they get that's genuinely valuable to them. And maybe as a little extra for there, if possible, that thing should be unique to you, and you should do all this in as few words as is reasonably possible. So let me maybe say that again. So immediately capture your ideal customer's attention by focusing on one thing that they get that's genuinely valuable to them. Here's an example. This is the Pinterest website. So their headline, they use Pinterest to plan a dream trip. So they're not talking about how amazing Pinterest is and the technology and the team behind it. They're talking about what do I get as a user that's genuinely valuable, right? If I use Pinterest to research trips, I get this amazing once in a lifetime holiday. Yeah. So one thing that I do hear quite a lot when I talk about headlines is you hear things like from SMEs, well, we're not Pinterest. We aren't unique, or we haven't invented this amazing new technology like these guys. have. And I would say maybe you should think about your strategy and how you can be more unique, but fair point. So this next example is more of a SME example, and I want to show you that these headlines don't even necessarily have to be like super clever. They can be very simple. So this is a balloon selling website. Their one genuinely valuable thing the customer gets from these guys is high quality balloons at affordable prices. It's not blowing my mind, but I feel that there's a good chance that would actually work quite well conversion rate wise, that kind of headline. So let's try this one. This one I think might be a bit harder, but we'll give it a go anyway. You can pay a copywriter hundreds or even thousands of pounds to write you a headline. They'll understand your audience and your product and go really deep into the psychology. Let's see what we can maybe just do in a few minutes here using these principles. So we've got here Bedrock. This is David Mellard's website. So they are HR consultants. Their headline is HR consultants helping organizations of all sizes. So let's have a go at seeing if we can write some alternate headlines for this using my one sentence formula that might be more effective, possibly. So I guess, is David Mellard on the call? Do we know? Not a problem if he isn't. No? Okay, no worries. I was going to say if he was, I could get him to try and give us the 30-second sell on this, but we can probably get that from the page. So we are your outsourced HR department, reducing risks and increasing the benefits of your team to your company. I'm already seeing better things down here for the headline, to be honest, than the real headline. So they work with different sizes of organizations. Why choose us? Tailored approach, flexibility, discretion, proven experience in HR, affordability, get the expertise of an in-house HR department without employing HR staff. So a few things that we could put in here. So let's have a go. The way when I do this kind of thing, when I write headlines, the way I do it is I would set a timer for myself and I would just write down as many ideas as I could. You know, don't take the pen off the page, keep writing, and then from that brainstorming, any idea goes. I would pick one that might have some potential in it. So shall we have a go at that? I'll set a timer for 1 minute and we'll all have a go at brainstorming a new headline for this website here. So I want everyone to have a go at this, including Parag and Dan and everybody, please. So the instruction now, the idea, the prompt is something that would immediately capture your ideal customer's attention by focusing on one thing that they get that's genuinely valuable to them. 1 minute starting now. I'm going to try as well. Okay, that's 1 minute. So if you haven't typed in your best idea in the chat box, please do that now. And this is brainstorming, so any idea is fine. Let's see what we've got here. Take the stress out of team management with HR support for businesses of all sizes. Dan, very good. Have your dream team with no effort. That's Parag's, very good. Reduce risk by outsourcing HR. Love it. It's short, it's genuinely valuable. Rena says, whether you're concerned about compliance or regulations, our HR specialists are here to help you. A bedrock of HR. Yes, good. That's why it's called bedrock HR, isn't it? It's building a strong foundation for your team. Excellent. I had outsource your HR department, the expertise of an in-house HR department without the cost. So plenty of suggestions that you guys could try here. I think that several of those would perform better than this because they're focusing on something of genuine value there. Okay, I think we better move on to the final section. I taught you these various concepts for increasing the conversion rates on your website. So you can now go off and do those things yourself, and I would encourage you to do that, definitely. There is another option if you're interested, and that is we can help you with this. So we are launching this week. This is our newest service. It's the Easy Wins website audit. And so the idea is we can go through your website for you and find all of these things that will increase your conversion rate for you. So this is something that Parag and myself and Tarek, who's our website expert, have been working on for 3 months now, I think. And so, yeah, this includes all the things I've mentioned today and a huge amount more. So navigation, design principles, how to do testimonials. We didn't even mention imagery, videos, typography, what things should actually be on your home page or your About Us page. How does your website look on a mobile device? So yeah, myself, Parag, Tarek, we did huge amounts of research, testing. We did prototypes of this. We wrote literally a 40-page process manual for doing these audits. So probably the easiest way to show you what these are like is literally just to show you one. So let me show you a sample of one of these audits. So this is one we did for an architecture practice called Matter. Give this a second to load. So yeah, feedback from this was amazing. They loved it. We gave them huge amounts of advice and suggestions for things they could do to improve on their website, and they are already working on this. This is what it looks like inside. So these are the kind of things that we cover. So the homepage, pop-ups, headlines, contact forms, all the stuff from today, testimonials, things like font sizes and typography, all these things here. And then we go through these in detail. We explain what we found. We illustrate it with these pictures from your website. We'll give you suggested layouts even for some of your pages. And then we'll end each section with this list of recommended actions for you, kind of prioritized in terms of what will have the most impact for you. So that is the conversion rate audit. We have two actually. So I talked all about conversion rate today. We also have another audit, which is the SEO audit. So hopefully you know Google prefers websites that are clean and fast, and they have all the correct URLs and all the metadata and all this kind of stuff set up correctly. If you have errors on the technical sort of back end of your website, you'll be penalized in Google. You won't perform so well in the search results. So this audit, this is more Tarek's baby than mine. We go through and we run literally, I think it's 50 tests for these possible errors that you might have on your website that might be affecting your SEO rankings. And we'll mark those errors, warnings, and information only, and things like how fast does the website load, all these different kind of possible errors. And it also comes with a in-depth kind of technical spreadsheet as well. So you could go away and actually find these errors one by one and go and fix those. So last thing here, you're probably thinking, it looks amazing. How much does it cost? So I'll show you the different packages here that we have. We try to make this very affordable. You know, Parag and myself do these board meetings and we think about new products. And we were really asking this question, what's something we can do that's easy and quick that has a genuine big impact? And these are, you know, for the amount of impact, not a huge amount of work, so we can offer it hopefully quite cheaply for you guys. So let's just wait for this to load. 1 second. Here we go. So I'll send this round actually afterwards. This has got all the details of what's included in each one. The pricing, $349 for the technical audit, $499 for the conversion rate audit, $749 if you get both. There's a slight discount there. And with any of these packages, you get this 1 hour phone consultation with Tarek, who is amazing. And if you want, he will even do 3 fixes. So to even start implementing some of the findings from this audit. And Tarek, by the way, is also available to do any more implementation you want after this audit or before. He's our go-to website expert who we have used for the last at least 5 years. And both Parag and myself are huge fans of him. He's the real deal. So yeah, if you think this is something that you want, you know, it's a fairly small investment, hopefully, for what you get. You'd be paying less than, for some of you, less than 2 or 3 coaching sessions to get both of these reports done for you. And I guess the question would be, if we can increase your SEO rankings, perhaps quite substantially, and we can improve the conversion rate on your website by 20, 30%, even 10%, how much extra revenue would you get from that over the next few years? Compare that number to this. Hopefully it's a no-brainer. That's the idea here. So if you do want one, you can go here, go to our website, the Business Growth Agency, actioncoach.co.uk/web-audit, and you can buy it here. And this is hooked into our Go Cardless platform that Kate uses. So I think we're going to say we'll do 5 of these audits initially because they take a fair bit of work to do. Then after that, there'll be a wait list of a few months that people will go on. And then the second batch, we may or may not increase the prices on these. So if you're interested, go to this website and grab yours before they all sell out. I'm going to send an email to our whole database in the next few days, so you guys have got a head start of a day or two there. And I guess just out of interest, is there anybody on this call now who is interested but would need a chat one-to-one to find out a bit more about this and have your questions answered. If that's you, just type your name in the chat box and we can arrange for a call with Tarek or myself or your coach to go into that. So that's everything I've got. Hopefully that was useful and practical, and whether you want us to help you or you want to do it yourself, I hope you've learned some easy wins you can use to increase the conversion rate on your websites.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you, Bryn. Thank you so much. And yeah, when I said Bryn was an expert at the start of the call, I wasn't joking. So thank you very much, Bryn. And as he said, for those of you that do want help with this, as Bryn said, you can work on these strategies yourself, or you can talk to Bryn and Tarek, especially about how this works and some of the specific things that we can do to help you with this service. So thank you for those of you who already put those requests for a call in the chat box. That's brilliant. We can line those up for you over the coming week or two and help you out further. So thanks again, Bryn.
Welcome.
And yeah, we'll wrap things up there. Obviously, I know that there's a few people who haven't made the calls, so we'll make sure we get the recording to them as well. And in the meantime, next week, guys, we will be back to the normal open Q&A session for everyone. So that will be with Dan and I to take whatever questions you need that are relevant to you right now. And as I said, if you want some specific questions about how this works and how you can specifically apply it to your website, into the chat box or message me directly. But we'll make sure we get a call set up for you as soon as convenient. Thank you, everyone. Good to see you all again, and keep the spirits, the mentality, and the energy going. Dan and I will see you for your coaching this week, and see you all next week. I'm glad that was useful, guys. If you didn't find that useful, I think you're on the wrong planet. So thanks so much, Bryn. You've clearly put an absolute shed load of work into that. So even I'm sitting here, even I know all the stuff you've done over the last 5 years, and even I'm sitting here thinking, blimey, okay, I hadn't thought of it like that. So thank you for teaching me as well as everyone else. And see you all next week, guys. Thanks again. Take care.
Okay. Should we start the recording?
Bryn. Are you there, Bryn? Hold on, let me just what's happened to my window? Is anyone else? I can't see who's left and who's not left. For some reason it's suddenly disappeared. There we are. Right, yes. Stop recording.